What's up, y'all? This is Brad. We're back again with another episode of Through It. Today we have Chris Rogers. She's the boss, CEO, and an ultimate creative from A to Z of Ease, which is a protective grill company. But on top of that, the cool thing is that she's making grills that, do more than just make you look fly. I'm excited to get into a conversation with her and learn more about her. As a matter of fact, I think she's already here. My guy Zach already made me a little aftershock, and let's get into this chat. Chris.
What's up?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I haven't seen you in so long.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Pleasure's all mine. As we really get into this, one of the cool things that I thought about your line of work is that it almost forces people to smile with your grills. So flipping that on you, what makes you smile?
Oh, so sweet. I think I love the human brain. So just like watching people and how they think about things makes me happy. It
seems like one of the things that I learned about you while doing my research is that you're clearly a thinker, you're clearly a creative overall, and I know that all begins with Third Ward, Texas.
Come on.
Yeah. So paint the picture. A child of a single parent home.
Yeah.
Talk about your background, what was it like coming up?
My mom asked me now, she's like, was I a good mother? Did this and that and the other? And I'm like, you were the best mother ever. Because it was me, my sister, and my mom our whole lives. And she was a singer, a model, all the things, and she used to bring us everywhere with her. That's where we get our entrepreneurship spirit from, is her. She included us in her modeling gigs, her events, all the things, growing up with her.
Her being Miss Zoe Jackson.
Zoe Jackson, the Zoe Jackson, fashion plate. Fashionable woman, we literally took everything from her. And our childhood was so fun. So we were around so many different types of people that growing up, it was just I already, came into contact with these people. We weren't shocked. We weren't this is new. We were, we accept everyone. Third Ward made me country.
Okay.
And gave me a little country flair and all the things. So yeah, that's where I'm from.
Cool. A Pop Sugar interview that I dug into on you, you said that you'd always been around people who cared about their appearance and wanted to make sure they were in tip-top form when they stepped outside.
Yep.
When you think back to coming up, who were some of the people specifically that you were around and you were like, oh man, he or she super fly?
My mama.
Okay.
I mean, she was a 90s baddie, so you see her, she dresses nice and all the things, and it's just wow, she took care of herself very well. And then she had lupus, so that kicked another health journey. So she always was eating right or working out and all the things, which taught us to be healthy. So you can look good, but you have to look good internally as well.
You mentioned your sister. I presume you're talking about Sierra. How did she kind of figure into, that's your older sister, how did, having that guidance? Pardon me, I know too much.
She is 15 years old, okay?
Yes, for life. How did she, the young Sierra Rogers, figure into your into guiding you and molding you in that friendship? How did that, figure into your life?
Well, we're best friends still. We've been best friends, grew up side by side, Irish twins. So we went through everything together. I'm so blessed. I get to grow up with my best friend. So through life's changes or whatever, we've always just been side by side. So it just comes naturally. We lead each other. We use each other as healthy competition sometimes, but we're always helping each other make it to that next level. So she's helped me a lot get here, and I've helped her too.
And she's a creative as well, right? She does mostly in the fashion space.
Yeah, so 10 years or so ago, the plus community was overlooked a lot. They used to have dresses, I would say, were tablecloths, plaid tablecloths, not cute
Slim
at all.
pickings.
So she came along and she was she saw a need for that. There was a gap there. So making clothes that accentuated those curves and made the plus community feel snatched was her thing. And so she was one of the first people to do that.
Dope.
Hey!
What up?
How are you?
I finally made it. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to our home.
I've been waiting for this.
Really?
I've been trying to catch y'all. Y'all been on the road.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm glad I caught you. What can I get? What's the most I can get? 8, 10?
You want 10?
I can do top bottom.
Right.
I like the full joint. I did 8 before. Let's do 10. Yeah, let's see what the 10.
Can you tell me, like, what was it about her that, number one, brought her to your attention, and also what made you want to tell her and the world that you appreciate their work with ease?
I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely the Pharrell moment.
Before I get into it, I know we all remember the moment where Pharrell told the reporter, I used my Invisalign trays and got them dipped in gold. Well, I want y'all to meet Christina Rogers, which is the person who created a brand called Ease. Ease creates protected mouth grills. So the inside of your grill actually has like a retainer or Invisalign, similar to what Pharrell was talking about.
With a megawatt celeb seemingly taking ownership of the novel idea, a sizable chunk of Chris's 500,000 followers were quick to ride for their PMG underdog. The similarities between Pharrell's pieces and her Ease protective mouth grills were too close for silence. Time would soon reveal if the perceived slight would be good or bad for her business. Chris and I touch on that later in this episode.
Because I feel like I heard about the Ease brand, I just didn't know what it was called. It could just be the algorithm guides or whatever, just kind of ran it across my TL, and I was like, oh shit, I got to it. It ended up going crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? What is it at, like 600?
It's at
Crazy
least.
shit. It's like one of my, like my third or fourth biggest video on there, so.
And it was one of those situations where the people kind of spoke it into existence as well, right? I think your comments were going crazy for a bit.
Yeah, for sure. They was like, oh my God, I'm so happy you featured her. I was like, damn, like you got a lot of love out there for sure.
Yeah, they show love. Like when you posted it, I was like, that is so cool because, to get the male attention on the product versus the female attention is like a different thing. So it showed like a lot of respect towards what we're doing here. You know, it's not just like, oh, we get the girlies in here all the time, but for men to think it's cool is another thing. So yeah, you did that.
I just appreciate the stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis, but I understand that Chris and the Ease team kind of have a gift to share with you. So I'll let you take it from there.
I'm excited.
We're gonna get you some PMGs.
Come on.
My brother.
Okay, let's do it.
You have done a lot. You've lived a life already in your youth. I checked out your book. There are no shortcuts in e-commerce. And from early on, you've had like an entrepreneurial spirit. And not only that, as far as like being, a young businesswoman and wanting to grow on your own, but also wanting to share that wisdom. One of the interesting things that I learned within that is that you had a transformative trip to Italy at 18, right after high school, that kind of changed your outlook on things. So like, what did that experience going abroad bring to you?
Looking back, I'm like, Mom, how did you let me go to Italy by myself? It was crazy. It was a program called Experiment in International Living. So they take random kids all over the earth who sign up for the program and bring them different places. So I chose Italy for language specifically. So going out there just taught me how to go about the world as it is, like not what anyone is teaching me or telling me what to do. So there were situations out there where they're like, you don't know this language, I'm gonna give you a map and meet me back here at 1:00, bye. And you're like, okay. So you gotta learn, like for real. So that I came back with that mentality when I was 18 and then tried to go to college in America. Yeah. And I was like, what is this?
Not so much for you.
Guess how long I stayed in college?
Well, I'm gonna use this alley-oop you're throwing me to tell you what I know. You went to college 2 times, 2 weeks at a time, in 2 different years?
Something like that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. They were like, we're gonna go around the classroom and read this book. You each get a paragraph, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm out. I'm not even gonna waste my mama money like that. So
one of the things that's a recurring theme throughout your journey is just having this courage to do the thing that most people within that age group don't have. Being able to go for the study abroad program and be dropped in a foreign land. In this case, drop out of college and have that tough conversation with your mom that's just like, listen, this is not the way for me. And I'm sure a bit of that comes from, having a mother who's in show business already, but it's still scary. Like, how did you build up that muscle to be able to just put yourself out there at, 19, 20, 21?
I don't know. I was just winging it. I was like, I don't want to do that. And I stayed true to that Even in high school, I was outlandish.
Okay.
Like you would see me walking around, I would like draw on my clothes and stuff. Like I was always different. I always had the little piercing or the little baby fro that I don't like right now. In high school, I was already different. So going into the world and being different and making different choices was just who I was at that point.
Yeah.
So by the time I was about to move to LA, that's when my spirituality kicked in, where I had my higher purpose, where God spoke to me and was like, this is what you're gonna do. And I was like, I trust you 100%. And so every step of the way, I've never been scared. I've never been like,
Never scared.
I ain't never scared, because it was my path. So
Yeah. So you show up to Los Angeles, you know, blessed with a message from above. And those early days, let's talk about those, because I know you really went full-fledged in the route of Miss Jackson and dipped into the music world for a bit. So was that the mission when you first came out here, as far as like LA as a whole?
it's so funny. I forgot about that until you just.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yes, I wanted to be a songwriter. Never wanted to be an artist because I was a writer. Like I love to write. I love to do poems and all the things. And I was a journal girl. I quickly found out the music industry is basura. Okay, so I got in there. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't know if you know this, but I used to do impersonations, like Beyonce impersonations. And don't ask me to do it because I ain't gonna do it. Okay, so I did that, and then I started to gain a following on Instagram.
Okay.
So as I'm like in the studio, just being myself and like, oh, we in the stew today type vibes, they were like, oh my God, you can really sing and you can really, you know, I love that. Why don't you put together a mixtape? And I'm like, then send me beats. And they did. And then I was like, damn. So I made a whole mixtape.
Yeah.
And then on this mixtape, there was one song that went viral.
Which one?
Cut Up.
Cut Up.
And it was a rap song.
I know.
Because I'm not a rapper. But yeah, it went viral. It was in China. It was all type of places. And I'm like, people are doing their dances. And I'm like, what in the world?
Walk us through the process.
When I do those videos, and they usually go crazy for like big companies, so to like have an independent, you know, creative, kind of like get that much love, I was so happy about that. Like, cause it did the same thing for Edward Buchanan.
You probably never heard of the man that's responsible for turning Bottega Veneta from a bad company to a ready-to-wear brand. Edward Buchanan, who was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and went to Columbus School of Design. Raised in a church-going household, his first introduction to design was the hats that women would wear going to church. If you're from the culture, something like this popped in your head as soon as I said that.
Yeah, that was a good look too. I ended up being a bit in communication with him a bit too.
Oh, for real?
He really appreciates. Yeah, because I just told him. Matter of fact, I think I might have started in your comments. I'm sure a lot of conversations get started under your videos.
For sure.
So I hit him up and I was just like, "Yo, man, like, you know, we really got to do a better job as media of not waiting for somebody big to do the story." Because I think that was the thing with Shorts. Like, why did everybody wait until I think Vogue did it or something like that? Yeah,
I was pissed because Vogue did a written video or written article.
Piece, article.
I was the first to do a video.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, why is nobody talking about this dude, bro? Like, y'all trying to shadow ban my boy or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So we've been in the DMs and rapping, and I was like, man, next time you in the States, he's like, I'm rarely in the States, but if you're ever in Milan,
that boy be out there. He on the other side for sure.
I see you.
That's really what I made my platform for too, bro. It's like to speak for those who may not have that limelight all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of dope shit that don't get seen. So for me, it's like I was still to this day, I'm chronically on the phone, like looking for new creatives. Like my whole thing is like creatives to watch, brands to watch.
One of the things I really appreciate you know, as a fashion and style critic, leading in the space with authenticity, number one with love. You know, you're not really coming with like, I don't ever hear you being like one of these other guys like, oh, that shit sucks, or they need to be doing this or that. It's like, no, I really appreciate
it's all relative,
that.
Bro.
And the kicker, the grand finale being, you know, you're welcome for the put on is like you're here to share and give to the audience. So it's a really cool thing that you do, and it's really cool to kind of get you, you know, this is one of many flowers that will be presented to you in a second. I'm gonna get it back to
much love,
my
man.
girl.
I appreciate that.
The 2 years we've been in business, it's been a journey trying to get molds right. That's the most important thing, really. We actually learned this new method out on the road because we have 3 jewelers and one is like super particular. So they played a big part in like training us to do it right. Learning it was tough, but now we have a good hold on it. But the road did like kind of train us as well.
As a lyricist, I'll be the first to tell you, you're a solid rapper. I don't know if it's you were one or you still got, bars on tuck, but no, you'll never tell. Maybe you do. But yeah, so, not only were you a singer-songwriter, but you're a rapper. And also within that time, in those early days of Los Angeles, decided to dip into the clothing space as well. You already mentioned Sierra and how she was kind of feeding that demo of underserved curvy women, and especially coming from the South and all that other stuff. You lived the experience as well. What made you want to jump into the fashion space?
So I went to clothing because I was like, I'm always in the studio, I'm wearing these things, and then people would comment and go, that's so cute, that shirt is so cute, and I'm like, ding. So if you want to buy this shirt for the low price of and that's how I started my clothing store. And I remember my first customer, Amanda, and we're friends today.
Okay.
She bought from me. She was my first customer, but that like literally took me on a 7-year journey, I think, of owning a clothing store online. And it was just purely to make money. That's it.
And all the while, in a short time span, you're going from faux Beyonce and repping hard to solo artist to clothing designer, and your audience is growing. And some people know you as a musician, some people know you as a style girl, you're a designer, and all the way your audience is building. Are you feeling like every 6 months or so you're becoming a different person, or are these just like facets of you?
I'm just really good at being a chameleon. My mom used to call me a chameleon all the time. I'm like, girl, you just change. Even my best friend, this like currently is like, every time I see you, you have a different hairstyle. You're just so different all the time. And I'm like, that's what keeps it fresh. Like, I make jokes about like leasing. They give you a year lease. Why would I stay here longer than a year?
Nice.
So I'm always like moving, changing energies and doing the things. And that's what keeps me like being creative and like feeling it.
I love that mindset. That is I love that idea of like, I'm gonna rock with this thing. And is that a mentality that you're coming into at the beginning? Like, I'm gonna give this phase X amount of months or a set time period, or you just riding it out, and when it's over, it's just like, all right, it's time to...
Yeah, when I get the feeling, I'm like, all right, pivoting. That goes with men too.
Okay.
I'd be like,
Okay. You did write a collection of self-help books in the space of business mostly, and I think that's like your sweet spot and what you have done the most of your robust output as a writer. But you did do a book of poetry called Heartstrings, and the bio of that book specifically is essentially, these are poems that helped in the rebuilding of Christina Rogers. In that era, what were you rebuilding?
I've had an interesting like dating career, so to say. So learning all these things growing up and like going through those situations, it left me feeling a lot of things, which I have to recover. Like, I feel like, I'm not good enough or whatever, daddy issues or whatever. So dating in that space was difficult, and then having to go through these relationships and butt heads with people, and I was literally engaged to somebody and it just didn't go well. It was like a domestic issue that I had to move on from and heal from, and I was angry and I was doing all the coping mechanisms and drinking bottles of wine, all the things, Don't look at my wine.
I know, like...
I am healed, sir.
Where we at right now?
Be good. It's a mate pochiana.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I wrote that book, or that poetry book, just to kind of like do some more healing and just like let it out,
Yeah, one of my favorite lines is comes from a poem called Lonely. And essentially it goes, I'm paraphrasing if it's not exact, but it's like, when did I forget to hold my own hand? With that, yes, I know, yes. When did you kind of come to the realization that the first thing that you needed beyond anything else is self-love?
You can't forget to mother yourself and like we tend to forget we were kids at one point, and there's a lot of things that we held on to as kids that we keep holding on to now, and you can link it back to when you were a child. Like, why am I acting like this? Oh yeah, that might be that one time where I wanted the lollipop where I couldn't get it, and then you're like, let it go, like it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of like really having those hard conversations with myself, only spending time by myself, not feeling lonely, but just living in solitude. That was helpful. Just a quick reminder that I mattered.
Yeah.
In every situation.
100%.
Grillz are really like, I want to say, you probably speak better to this, but like they're kind of transformative. Like, it's one thing to have your pearly whites or whatever, but what do you see that shift as far as like someone turning into their like superhero version of themselves one day?
You get a different stride with some grills on. You could just have a suit on with some grills and people be like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. But some people are bashful here. They'll walk by and they're embarrassed that they like it, and you're like, get in here and get some grills.
So, and you have like a training I know on the website it's like learn how to build your own business, something like that. How does that work as far as like
I'm
build your
literally
own?
teaching people how to run a grills business, so it's a lot to learn. And one thing I like to do is kind of pay it forward or give back. So the people who come after me can just step into it and know all they need to know. Because it's not a forgiving business. It's not easy. It's not like, you know, people are spending lots of money to have a Grillz. Teaching people to run that business, I think it's important. I used to offer the PMG to people, but I was like, you know what, we're gonna wait on that. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait because we're still getting our respect right now. So later on, it's gonna be more beneficial. But for these people who are now learning how to run the business, later on, they can then offer the PMG.
You know, I just realized in that talk that I never asked the most obvious question. Why did you call it ease?
I don't know. It just came to me. Yeah, I was in the shower and ease. Okay.
There you go.
And in a former interview, you were saying that after, and you just mentioned it as well, thank you for sharing, that after like an unfortunate bout with like domestic abuse, you didn't let it define you in the way, almost in the same way they say, like every hero has their origin story. So how were you able to spin such a negative into a positive purpose? Because you said something to the effect of wanting to, using that experience to uplift women, encourage them to start their own businesses, and also pour into themselves.
That whole situation was so odd looking back at it, because I'm like, what were you searching for, really? So I was just lost in whatever was happening, really. And then on the back end, I was so angry about that situation. And then I saw this is funny now, but it wasn't back then.
Okay.
But I saw a video of myself screaming at somebody. I'm like, you look stupid as. You need to like take some time, go to timeout and figure out what is going on with you. I was angry. I was angry at the situation, at what happened, what I left with, all the things, what I didn't leave with. I think that was the wake up call.
Okay.
Like, you just look stupid, and it was embarrassing. So I had to like really reframe how I thought about that whole situation. And then I refused to let it, like, I'm like, you're out of my life. Why would I take you with me? So I think I had talked about that like maybe a few times. And then after that, I was like, he gets no more from me. Like, that's just what it was.
Yeah.
Can I curse?
Oh, absolutely.
Next time this motherfucker sees me, he's gonna be like, oh shit. I mean, I was determined to actually pour into myself and make something of myself, because I wasn't put on the earth to be someone's like wife or something. So I'm like, what are you capable of? Just do it. You gotta like release it, heal from it, and know that there's a bigger purpose in life besides that. So let that man go and let him go somewhere else.
Absolutely. And let the Lord hit him wherever he may be.
And that's why, yes.
Yes, right.
Let me not get into it. But listen, in the Bible,
yes, please.
it says God will handle your battles for you. And that's exactly what happened. God handled that battle for me. All I had to do was listen to God.
As we transition from that, I think it's really cool. And I don't know if everything when you're making a movie, everything happens so tight. Like the biopic is never as tight or as wide and far spanning as like what the actual life was. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if you get out of that situation and you're like, you know what? Ease. But where does this transition that you had in your life fall into also transitioning from all those other careers and what they call it, side quests, and going into this space of ease and Grillz and bringing Houston culture into
Yes.
the business plan?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So that was actually many, many years after that situation. So it was during the pandemic.
Okay.
A lot of people had a lot of time. I think I got into a space where I was like checking in with myself. Are you happy, girl? Are you just like on this treadmill, just walking in the same place? Like, what are you doing? And I realized that I got to a point where people would be like, well, what do you do for a living? Because we live in LA. So everyone asked the question. So I'm like, I have a clothing store online. And it was the whole thing because people connected it to being a baddie on Instagram at one point, having a boutique.
There you go.
So I was just embarrassed, mostly saying it. And then I was like, that's not me. Like, I was only doing it to make money, like I said. So I wanted to find something that was going to make me feel happy about talking. Like, I wanted to talk about it. And I would feel proud mentioning it. So I cold turkey just shut my store down. That's how I operate. I'm like making good money.
Okay.
But I'm done.
Okay.
Like, and that's another thing, you know? I keep telling people, don't hold on to what it is. Like, hold on to the future. It's like, it's fine. It's going to be fine.
And that's not tough because the money's coming in and it's a success, but you're not pleased. And, you know, you're talking about looking in the mirror and really looking like at you for real.
Yeah.
How do you get to a place of being able to like shut the water off on drips and drips of dollars? Like, how does that work for you?
Because I have a connection with God, and God will never let me fall. That's how it is. So I'm never, ever scared to do anything because I'm like, I mean, except June bugs, kill a June bug. So outside of that, I'm never scared to do anything. I'm always going for it because time and time again, you know, it's been proven. Whatever I'm going to do has been, God put the gas on it. Like, here you go. You got this. So I'm never scared to just cold turkey. And I wish a lot of other people had that same faith. In the Bible, it says all you need is a mustard seed of faith.
There you go.
And a lot of people don't have that because they're holding on to what's on the earth, all the money. Like, it's just energy at this rate. Money's fake.
Yeah.
Money is so
That's
fake.
facts. Yeah.
It's like, I've had a lot of money, I've had a little money, but each time I still ate. I still had somewhere to sleep. Like, it's fake. It's what we made it as humans.
Yeah.
So once we can gain the power back from money, I think that's what allows us to kind of like have faith in all the things we're doing.
You was like, you low-key like turning me up. I'm like, we at the table right now about to just jump up like, hallelujah. This is like, you barring out on the Lord, on the scripture. You know what I'm saying? But going back to ease, as I contain myself, so like, what were the first moves? Who was encouraging you? It's quiet outside because it's the pandemic. You know, you really have an space and opportunity, like you said, to really dig in, do your research, and see what's what. Like, what happened for you?
So I had many ideas behind what I wanted to do, and then when I was actually trying to be an influencer at the time because I was like, what do I want to do? Do I want to talk to the people still? Whatever. So I was doing a straightening process, like the clear aligners, trying to straighten my teeth, which I stopped, and I messed up my teeth, by the way. They used to be straight, now they're crooked. So anyway.
You have an awesome smile. Man.
Thank you. So that happened, and then I was like, this is so boring. Like, I want to express myself, and I can't do that with clear aligners. That's boring. So I'm like, I wonder if there's Grillz out there that you can use to straighten your teeth through the process, which there weren't. And I always wanted a grill, but I never wanted to put on my teeth because metal's not good for your teeth. I don't know if anyone knows that. Only metal that does not tarnish is 24K. So people typically aren't gonna go, give me them 24 karat grills. It's expensive. So the other metal is tarnishing on top of teeth, messing your teeth up. It's my culture. I'm from Houston, and we see it all the time. So during the straightening process, I'm like, do they have this piece? I go online, there's nothing there. And I'm like, all right, there we go. I'm gonna invent it. So I spent the next 8 months like trying to figure it out, day in, day out, literally 8 months straight until I figured it out.
Yeah.
Halfway through, I'm like, this is smart as hell. I'm gonna get a patent. But it was just a clear road. Like, everything was easy.
All this time, are you sharing it with like a small team and all this other stuff? It's all you
Just me.
in the house. Okay.
I was like, no one's gonna know about this. I didn't even tell my closest friends, who ain't my friends right now.
There you go.
I didn't even tell anyone. I was just in there for 8 months like a mad scientist trying to figure it out. And then the day I figured it out, I was like, oh my gosh, incredible. But in preparation for that day, here's another tidbit.
Let's get it.
I was preparing for that day. So I was doing the patent. I was doing the model that y'all see with the whatever. I'm hiring the people to do these things because I'm so invested in it. And I'm like, this is gonna work. Like, there's no way it won't. So I'm preparing for this moment, and the moment happened to where I figured out how to do it on the back end of all this other stuff. So I just knew it was coming.
Yeah. And then fast forward to, launch or maybe a soft launch, but you're in a space now where elite publications and people of note, like Forbes is calling you the innovative mind behind protective mouth grills, and all these titles are being dubbed onto you. What does this early success feel like as far as the notoriety? Is it just confirmation in that mustard seed you were talking about before? How are you taking how fast things have progressed? Because, 2020 is only some years ago.
Right. I don't think I stopped to take it in, which is something I need to get better at. But I was just like, oh my God, that's fucking incredible. Next. Oh my God, that's great. Oh, next. Because I'm literally building this whole thing, and we're just, 2 years in now? Get it to the people. I'm building the packaging. I'm building all the things, so I don't have time to stop and just take it all in. But literally when I did release it, that started happening. I'm like, what? Which, by the way, shout out to Black women, because
always
literally everyone who wrote about me from these publications were Black women. They reached out to me on LinkedIn and was like, girl, I got you.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
That's awesome. Okay.
Shout out. So yes, they are the reason I'm in those publications. And, aside from myself.
Wow. Nah, I didn't. That's a fun fact that I didn't notice.
Oh, in the future? I got plans. I want a storefront in all the poppin' places. I want to do a tour, like a cowboy tour, like Cowboy Carter, but go to only rural areas. I can't say the word, but rural areas where, cause they got money. I'm like, y'all deserve some grills too. The boys on the horses and stuff. And I would personally enjoy that tour myself. I set grand goals for myself, and I'm like, every morning, girl, why you do that? Now you gotta do it. So it's gonna happen. Every thought is supposed to happen. It's just about the person who's supposed to do it, So when you have a desire, that's your cue, do it. You're supported, go ahead. So everything I think about, I'm like, all right, I'll just do it, Oh, it's perfect. Look at you go.
It's beautiful.
Go.
Gorgeous.
So we're done playing in your mouth.
Yes, we are finished
sounded
molding him
crazy.
up. So wait a minute.
We're gonna drop that edit.
So when you was doing, what'd you say, 300 on that entire tour? You did 300?
About, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
That is crazy.
They showed up. I was like, what is this? No, I was just spending time, which I still am. I'm moving so fast, and the brand's moving so fast. I don't really have time to slow down and take it in, but grateful for everything, obviously. And it's helped really catapult it in the right direction.
Right. And to follow up on that, just a general, maybe a broad question, because you've held this title, it's essentially all of your professional career. How does it feel to be a boss?
Stressful.
Stressful. Yeah.
It's real stressful.
Oh, they have that saying called, what is it? Paid the cost to be the boss. So I guess the question within that is what have you sacrificed? What are the things that, come along with the package and the glam and all this other stuff and the status and all that?
It's amazing being in this position. I'm blessed. I step back sometimes and I'm like, what in the world is going on? But I think I'm so focused, and everyone who wants that title has to realize it's not what you think. You're gonna have to work. Yeah. And you're gonna have to work hard, and you're gonna have to work through hard things. It's hard and it's challenging. And on the back end, maybe you'll be able to celebrate one day. Right. But right now, it's all about going to each goal, because once you reach one goal, you're like, oh, how higher can I go? It's addicting. Can I do something else? Can I do something else? And that requires more work. So in this space, I'm currently building a team, which is something I've never done before. I've always been a solo entrepreneur. So now I'm learning different things to where I can't just be like, oh, I'm a boss.
Yeah.
No, girl, you a worker. Get some work.
Right. Well, one of the things that I noticed on, to segue off of that is not only are you the boss, but you are the lead influencer for the brand. And one of the things you just kind of handle yourself, or one of the things I'm noticing, especially as now that I've been around you a few times in real life, is the authenticity between who you are at the salon or kicking it on the sidewalk or sitting down with me at the bar, there's no differentiation. You are the same person. There's one post that I really thought was kind of emblematic of what I'm saying right now, in the sense that you are in it. It's like a video, little black dress, and you're just kind of chilling, and I don't know who's shooting it, but essentially you're just waiting for people to walk by, and the caption is, the first image was a thirst trap, but the Guard Your Grill tour is coming to a town near you. And the cool thing about that, you as a businesswoman and all these titles that we're talking about before, is a lot of people in your position would kind of hide or push back their, for lack of a better term, their assets physically. And maybe, you know, as the leader and the boss of a protective grill company, put on like the big dental white coat and talk to them about all the benefits. And you do all those things as far as like, you know, the ins and outs of the dentistry of it all, but you're not over here trying to pretend like you're not you. How did you come to that decision or that space of like, when people see me and they see this brand, they're going to see me versus some doctored, you know, version variant?
I just see it as I get to be me. Like, that's how I see it. And I don't like to be put in boxes and like, what would you consider yourself? And like, I don't even like when people are like, you're a black owned business. And I'm like, I get it, I'm black, okay? But I am a business. And you know, we're obviously there's been a long history of this stuff. We don't have to get into it. But I just don't like to be labeled and put in boxes. So I think that's a big part of it. Like, I'm just gonna be myself anywhere I go. So I would walk into the liliest meetings and I would be like, what's up, y'all? How you doing? And they just gonna have to get used to it because that's just who I am. So also with the protective mouth grill, it's literally it's changing the dental industry because it's a grill with a layer inside like that's protecting your teeth. So it's like different but still healthy, but still like you like, that's ghetto, but then you're like, I like that. So it's like a lot of things that challenges the emotions just like I do as a person.
Yeah, and to that point, you're talking about being, that's ghetto, but one of these articles about you were kind of assessing, and I think in this one specifically, you were kind of lumped into a group of black businesses, for better or worse, that were winning. And one of the reasons that they attributed to your success is, like I mentioned before, the authenticity, which is real, but also, and I'll ask you if you know this term, AAVE. That stands for African American Vernacular English, which is what we used to call Ebonics. And they're pairing that with you in the sense of like, Ease and the team over there just talk to their clients like they're the homies.
Yeah.
There are classes for all these things and how to build authenticity, but it's something that it seems intrinsic and honest to who you are without the prior research and stuff like that. Was there any thought prior to how you're going to present yourself on socials or otherwise, your website and bios, of like, we're going to speak like this and we're going to like...
Child, no.
Yeah, okay.
I don't overthink anything. I love good energy and good vibes. I feel like the best way to have good energy is to just be yourself. Like, just come up off of it. Like, relax a little bit, everyone. Like, who are you trying to impress? The only thing that really matters is your purpose on the earth. And I love humans. Like, it's crazy how much I love humans. Like, I love just like, wow, like, you're literally the only you here. So it's crazy. Like, the social media world makes you like, oh my God, look at my who cares? Most of the time, people who are looking don't even care. They care more about themselves and how they feel about it. So it's just a thing, me walking into situations, the people I work with, I'm like, be yourself, please. You'll see in the meetings, I'm cursing, I'm just being myself, and they follow suit. So sometimes being yourself gets you kicked out, but still, be yourself.
Like you said, you can do the lab coat. That shit boring. Don't nobody want to see it. Like, That's the same thing like what I do with my content. It's like, bro, be as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
People try to pay me. I'm like, if I don't like it, I can't post, bro. I'll turn down the bread, all that.
You said that a couple times.
I can't do it, yeah. But that authenticity, I think, is why that works.
Yeah, I think the point is just to shake some shit up. You know, I don't want to fall in line with what was. I want to like actually be a trailblazer. So being myself, having a potty mouth, or saying what I really think is, you know, that's what people love. And they're like, oh, yeah, I feel right at home. Yes.
It's a different world, too. Like, all that shit is being embraced now. I don't know what it is. It's like a real shift happening that I've been seeing, like, with young people. It's not like the standard cookie cutter, you got to be professional, uptight. It's like, come as you are. Because it's really about the people now. Like, the people choose who the big ones now. It's not about, like, all them gatekeepers is out of here. You know, so if the people rally behind you, you that one. And they can't even like negotiate that. You feel me?
I did want to spit it to you for a little bit because I know you've had, just even like on a very basic calendar year, a wild ass year. From a business, I know you're, as a front facing, you know, speaker, critic in the style space, people mostly know you at this point for the stuff you're doing on socials, but you're actually a designer and a creative before you became someone who's, you know, yesing and, you know, do bettering on digital. So in the last year, I know that you've experienced some tough times as a businessman, and also really propelled yourself in the social space. So can you talk about like that transition between what was going on last fall to really stepping forward like you have?
Like you said, I'm in the brand space. Like this hoodie I'm wearing is actually my brand. It's called Yang Vibe. You know, I've been pretty successful in that space as well. I was the #1 selling brand in Foot Locker in like, I believe all of California. We actually went national with them too. But we tried to kind of transition to like heavily direct to consumer. We got a manufacturer out here and he ended up running off for like 30 grand. Beat me, like that was it. You know what I mean? So I had to sit down for a minute. When I got to rock bottom and I was just like, I don't know, bro, like, I don't know what's next. And I just kind of released everything. That's when this content thing came up. I think I seen a chick get like a car as a PR pack. I'm like, hell nah. I'm like, ain't no way she got a car off a post. It's not possible. And then so I'm like, let's try this, man. You feel me? Tried it, and I think it was a polo video. Took off. First time I went viral. I woke up to like 10,000 notifications. I'm like, babe, you know, I'm juiced. Ma! You feel me? And then, yeah, after that, I'm like, well, shit, they like that.
Okay.
I mean, keep going. And then so I did 3 posts a day, 12, 3, 6. Still do it to this day. Life is crazy, bro. That's all I can say. Like, it ain't nobody I can't contact right now. Like, I was just talking to Michael B. Jordan yesterday.
Hey.
It's nuts. Like, it's nuts. All of DM.
And the crazy thing is, #1, the level of consistency and just being able to react, because somebody releases a new sneaker at 9 a.m. this morning, I can count on you at 12:01 to have that video up talking about, like, not only saying this happened, which is 90% of the internet just being like, hey, this just dropped, check it, cool or not cool, rate it. Nah, you over here, you're giving like background stories, you've done your research, you Google. And on top of that, like, let's not get it twisted. You have a proper day job like me, you're a dad, life is happening around you all the time. How do you kind of balance all that stuff and like serve the people at the same time?
Support system. I'm gonna be honest, like I had to kind of create my own system, but my girl, she's a big help. You feel me? My mom, she a big help. And I say that's what it is, bro. Like with the kids, that's a non-negotiable. You gotta get up early. You gotta figure that out. Like if you gotta take your son to school at 7, get your ass up by 6. Pump them videos out, get it going. You know what I mean? That's why I rock with Larry June, because that's a lot of what he speak about. You know?
Real true life raps.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta figure it out.
Bike rides, nice cars, errands.
Being a dad. Being a dad. You know what I mean?
You can't, I mean, again, like losses may come, but I think the feeling of like win or lose, I was in that room as me, is the best feeling versus winning, being fake and having to be fake for the duration of your relationship with other partners and all this other stuff. So yeah, that's 1,000% real. And I appreciate you saying that. You were mentioning before about the whole patent pending thing. That process, like, because the patent pending thing is obviously, #1, a testament to your business sense and wanting to protect your IP. But when does it become like official? Because things have happened within the last couple months where it's like, did Christina do that? Or was it somebody else? Or who's da-da-da-da-da-da? So how do you kind of get ownership? The cool thing is that you're clients and your fan base are quick to jump in and be like, oh, that looks like ease. How does that work for you? And like how much of this is as an exercise in patience as you wait for like this thing to truly be on paper fully yours?
You know, it's been a while. It's been like, what, 4 years since I started that because of the pandemic. There's been a lot of pushbacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Pharrell situation that happened at the Met Gala. Met Gala, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, that's what did it do. Everybody was mad at him. That was shade, by the way. So everyone was mad at him, but he did so much for me, like, and not even knowing. And who knows what his intention was? Like, maybe he was like, oh girl, why you put this on me and tell me to say that? Right. Who knows? Right. But he did a lot for me because it showed me how much people were like, wait a minute, that's this person, and you know, she is this and she is that. And I looked at it and I was like, damn, I am that.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world? And also, you know, people didn't know that something like that existed. So he sent them my way.
Of course, yeah.
I had a meeting with Invisalign, all the things. So I'm like, that was a big blessing in disguise. So Pharrell, thank you, boo.
So all that came in first Monday in May, Met Gala. In the span of his red carpet appearance and talking about how he dipped his trays and whatever to create these grills, in those days found, was it just like a whirlwind of just like notifications going crazy on your phone and emails and stuff like that? Walk me through those next couple.
Most people were angry. Like, they were sending me messages like, you need to sue them, this and I'm like, I'm sorry, who is the owner?
Yeah.
Like, I feel the passion, but calm down.
Yeah.
Let's just see like what's going on, you know? And then on the back end, a lot of stuff started happening for the brand. So, I mean, all those people like, I'm sure you can do this and that. And I'm like, I'm really not worried about it. Like, I'm sure I know how I made the product. So whatever he did or whatever, it's going to be gone. That shit gonna melt off your teeth.
Right.
Whatever he got going on. On the back end, I was more grateful for anything.
So for clarity, it definitely wasn't an Ease product that he was wearing that night, and he was just like not showing props. It was some other person doing their own thing.
Right.
Okay.
Which that person might have saw my stuff and was like, we can figure this out. But I mean, I did see a lot of Invisalign girls come after that, which I will tell people, be careful, Invisalign got a lot of patents. So y'all can be sued for that. So, yeah, we are the protective mouth grill over here.
That's right. That's right.
Yo, Kev, number one, I know schedule continues to be jam-packed. You got places to go, people to see. But I always wanted to make sure from the time that I knew that we were going to make this happen, that we show love and appreciation for the stuff that you do. Really, like a great representative like of what this thing is about. You're someone who's been through it. To see you shine and to continue to lead with love, support the culture, lead with authenticity, and just be you through and through. I had to connect with a collection of friends, send the emails, send some notes, and just see if we can kind of say thank you together. So I'm gonna start with my homie Khalil from Colors.
Nice.
Just want to
that fall pack.
We wishing that you stay cozy at all times.
Come on, you know I'm big on socks too. You ain't seen this video?
Of course I have.
Oh, hey.
Of course I have.
Socks matter.
This no accidents.
The time.
Our friends at Tom Ford Beauty, to be specific, want to make sure that in your travels, we continue to smell good.
That's heavy.
Stay scented.
That's heavy.
And then my guys at New Balance really came correct.
It showed up.
And for a great man in the size 12,
come on.
I want to make sure you had an assortment.
That's love.
As you go in.
That's love, bro.
And you continue to ascend and do great things. So enjoy. I figure I might have to help you to the car with all this.
But, no, for sure, I would appreciate it.
But no, thank you for doing your thing, and
that's love.
And definitely for showing up for us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you for putting this together. I know you were very adamant, and I was very interested as soon as you hit me up. So I'm glad we was able to work it out. You know, the line. I came down here. I drove here at 4 in the morning.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I ain't slept yet. You feel me? So that's dedication. Appreciate y'all too.
The first thumbs up that I got from you was like, I think I sent you the link on IG, and like within like an hour or two, it was like, you were like, I can't front, this is good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We started somewhere.
For sure.
So,
I'm one of them, bro. Like, trust me, I'm reachable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I seen you had a good concept. It was aligned with her. We already got synergy. So yeah, I'm glad. I appreciate you too. you know, you and the team. So I can't wait to get my Ease brand grill. And you are welcome for the put on.
You know, one of the things that's been fun is just kind of watching you from afar and following you on social is that you're doing something that I definitely haven't seen anybody in your space do, which is this Guard Your Grillz tour.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? And you're going from city to city across the country, you know, selling this product and winning hard and having a ball.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So basically.
Correct.
I mean, much like my first mixtape. Y'all gotta be careful what you say to me because I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So people like, why don't you come here? Why don't you go? I said, okay, I'm on the way and I'm gonna bring the team with me. So in every city we went to, it was one that basically we had a lot of people commenting to come to.
Okay.
That's how we chose the cities. So we went out, they showed so much love. I'm talking about, they kicked our ass at almost every stop. But every stop, they just showed up and showed out. And I'm like, wow. Just like Cut Up. They just showed up and they cut up.
Okay. Because a lot of people talk, and there's no guarantee that just because a handful of people show love online and said, like, if you come, you know, if you pull up, we will too. No, what was it like to really, like, do you remember what the first city was?
Houston.
Okay. Oh, well, home. Well, hopefully people show up at home.
Yeah, they do.
But what was it like to go down to, you know, born and raised H-Town and really see that line around the corner and really be hooking up your people?
Being there, I think I was just learning a lot. So first tour was just like a science experiment, like who's gonna come, what's gonna happen, what are they gonna want, blah, 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 blah. Right. I learned how to manage 2 pop-ups at the same time. We were doing LA and Houston and traveling and managing a team and growing. And I'm like, ooh, it was a lot. Yeah. Once again, I didn't stop to kind of just like take it all in. But on the back end, I was like, what just happened? Yeah. I literally went to so many cities, flew the whole team out, got accommodations, like these spaces, and these people showed up. Yeah. What just happened? Did that. And did very well every weekend, so blessed. You, in I want to say 2020 interview, the journalist, question asker, whatever, essentially asked you if luck had played any role in your journey. This is pre-Ease, so writer, singer, all these things. And your response was something to the effect of, I often joke that I'm the unluckiest girl in the world, but I still get up every morning at the crack of dawn, bust my ass and put in the work. We're sitting in 2025 right now. You're in the position that you are in. How are you feeling about your luck and your blessings and where you're at now? I'm still like, I'm just blessed. I let go of that unlucky term because that's not really a thing. I think I grew my connection with God and it was like, this is what we doing when I say so. So you ain't unlucky, you just need to wait. Yeah. So that was me too. I was just frustrated, I guess, at that time, which I did feel unlucky. A lot of things were happening. I was like, what the? But for my benefit on the back end, I'm like, I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad this didn't happen. I'm here currently. I did the work. I'm here and I do the work. Yeah. People are like, you need to take a day off. And I'm like, shut up. No, I'm not doing that because I enjoy what I do. It's what I wanted to do. I get to do this. So every single day I wake up because I love it and I do the work. I wake up at 4 a.m. naturally. So why would I go back to sleep? Yeah. Okay. Let's get it. Yeah. Let's get it. 100%. Like you get to do this. Yeah. Some people can't do it. Some people can't control their bodies. Some people can't control their mind. Some people like have these limitations and I don't. Yeah. So I'm like, I take that as like, I'm being used. So be used, Yeah. And, the interesting thing, I almost feel bad because that cup is still kind of full. Oh, my bad. And I just wanted to say thank you. Number one, I was also nervous because you got a white cream situation going on with the red in your glass. So I just want to say thank you for the time. Oh, yeah. It's always a pleasure kicking it with you. Yeah. Let's enjoy these drinks. Yay. And much appreciated. Shout out to Ease. Let God and let go. And cheers. Cheers. Yeah, so this is Carrie. This is my girl Carrie. She, how long have you been with us? Since April. So she's been with us since April. She's been on the road with me. She's just my road dog. She's amazing, adds flair to the business. Noah, he doesn't like to be on camera. But yeah, my team, This is my core team right here, and we have other people who work as well, but this is my core right here. We also have a Houston team, so we have someone out in Houston working with us.
You have some interesting marketing too. What you was doing? You was thirst trapping them?
Oh yeah.
I said, hold on. What?
We just talked about this. We just talked about this.
So it does work.
It be working.
Is this the flyer?
Because let me tell you why I did that. Because, you know, people like to get on Instagram and see something. So I was like, okay. When we were on tour, I'm like, all right, enough of the cute shit. Now let me thirst trap their ass. Because it wasn't showing the stuff. Like, the algorithm's crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to,
like the first like hour, right? Like,
yeah, I had to thirst trap
engagement.
them, and then they started seeing it, and then whatever.
Shout out to the Ease brand. Shout out Chris. Appreciate y'all. They look crazy.